Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn, Seth, guys, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Not bad.
Doing well, man.
Doing well.
Nice. So today we are talking about the HVC Hot Cake Corona Gorda. The cigar is 5 5/8 by 46. Comes out of the Tabsa factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Mexican San Andreas Maduro. Binder and filler both from Nicaragua. Blended by Rainier Lorenzo. Price point is $7.40, and the cigar was released in July of 2020. So with all that out of the way, Jiunn, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
The hot cake was a hot mess. Okay. I was pretty disappointed. This is probably the first like HVC cigar in which I thought, man, this is just 100% miss. In terms of flavor profiles, immediately when I first started smoking it, there was a lot of deep spice and sharpness and red pepper spice. It's one of those, I don't mind spicy cigars by any means, but when spice kind of gets to your rear palate and it starts to irritate your throat, that's the kind of spice I'm not a big fan of. And this is one of those cigars that did that off the bat. And then, as I smoked through the cigar, that just got more intense. Started getting more like leather type notes, less like cocoa that I like from the first third. And it just got really charred, kind of a charry, kind of a wood note to it as well. And it was terrible to that extent. So, also worthwhile to say I did have some burn construction issues, uneven burn, handful of touch-ups. Cigar went out randomly twice on me, so I had to, get it restarted twice. But just, I don't really mind that burn issue, but the flavor profile was so terrible, and I'm just kind of like, man, this really sucked, and I just wasted some part of my life.
All right, Seth, what were your overall thoughts?
I was wondering how dark Jiunn was going to get with this. Sometimes he takes it over the board, but that was kind of soft. That was a mellow one.
It was so bad that I had no reason to want to masturbate at night.
Graphic.
Yeah, you went really far.
Overshare there.
You went really far, Howard. All
That's
right,
pretty
Seth,
damn depressing, man.
follow that up, Seth.
Yeah, I mean, hot cake was kind of, the Corona Gorda was disappointing. I thought the flavors were really pleasant. The burn was pretty decent, was good for the most part. Draw was very nice, but just the flavor. Lacking filler blend to the cigar. So I was disappointed.
All right, John, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the first third is where June and I kind of diverge on profiles because, I got a lot of that lingering pepper, baking spice, leather and earth, and I got almost like a peat smoke, which was really weird or unusual for me. Like, there's no fire cure in it as far as I'm aware, but there's like almost like a peaty smoke earthiness to it. So I actually had a good first third, but like everybody else, the flavor profile just wasn't engaging at all through the second and last third. Second third was more like leather and baking spices, and that leather kind of took over the palate. So just really flat for me. And then that last third, really earth forward, which was really palate coating. So, for Mexican San Andreas, like I really didn't get a lot of that Mexican San Andreas quality through the smoke. I also had some burn issues. Cigar just spontaneously went out while I was puffing on it, which was like an inch in, which is kind of unusual. Like normally if the cigar goes out, it's going to be kind of at the halfway point, but like I was literally drawing on it and it just went out. So I had to do a relight, which is a bit of a drag, and the draw was a bit tight. I mean, you probably want a Corona Gorda to be a little on the resistance spectrum, but this is pretty tight, 2.5 to 3 notches. So that could have impacted the flavor performance. It might have impacted the relight issue. overall, pretty average experience. I wasn't really wowed by this. Aaron, walk us through your experience.
I thought the first inch of this cigar was absolutely spectacular. Really nice combination of flavors. It was like kind of like a gritty Mexican hot chocolate. But kind of after that first inch, profile kind of dropped down, became fairly averaged. Focused around lightly charred wood, earth, some black pepper. I did have really good construction, so that's kind of a difference from you guys. But I was really wishing that first inch would have kind of kept going with this, because we'd be talking about like a really special cigar here. But price point's attractive on this. I'd be willing to come back to this at this point if I can get that first inch again. But maybe
what is the price point on this? Sorry,
$740.
That's super
pretty
affordable.
good.
Yeah. But I don't know if maybe more time with this one would work. I know Seth has said the other Vitolas are pretty good, so maybe try another Vitola. I'd be curious to see what that's like. But I'd say it's the experience I had. I'd say people should at least give it a shot. For that price point, it doesn't really hurt too much to do that. But I don't know, maybe a little more time, maybe things settle down on it. Maybe that first inch can go for a little while longer. Who knows? But yeah, it was just like, you saw, I saw a moment of brilliance, and then it was kind of gone. So it was like a little disappointing. So
My wife says to me all the time.
There you go.
Heyo.
All right, so let's get into the scoring. Let's start at the top with me at a 6 even. John gave it a 5.60. Next was Seth at 5.40, and then Jiunn gave it a 4.95.
Fuck yeah.
So I will say my 6 even matches up well. I mean, it was above average flavor profile. I had really good construction. That's what gets it right to that 6 threshold. So that's kind of typically where I'm willing to smoke it again. And like I said, I would be willing to go back to it for that, how that first inch worked out, to see if it could represent itself longer down the road at some point. All right, John, 5.60.
Yeah, when Aaron is top of the scoring list, that's really when you
Something's
got a
wrong.
question. Something's wrong.
Something's very wrong.
I mean, that matches up pretty closely to my experience. It was above average, slightly above average flavor performance, with a little bit of detractors and some of the construction, and that's what's going to score it between a 5.5 and a 5.7. I would probably try it again just because of the price point, but since Seth was kind of big on the was it Toro size, I'd be inclined to try this in a different size just to compare the performances. And I kind of feel like this might be one of those cigars where it really needs that larger size to come into its own. Seth?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've smoked the Robusto and the Toro and the Corona Gorda. The Corona Gorda, I think, is the weakest of the 3 sizes, in my opinion. I think the price is really good on it. I don't think it's a great Mexican San Andreas. I don't think it's even. I don't know if this is the first Mexican San Andreas he's done, but it's definitely not the best San Andreas that Tops has done. I think there's better offerings out there. So it's kind of, I would pick up a Robusto and Toro just to kind of see where it is. It kind of has this rustic quality to it, if you're looking for that rustic Maduro, but I wasn't blown away by it. Gosh, I feel like I really want to go. Well, let's get through it, and then I'll take my coupe hot take on this.
All right, Jiunn, 4.95.
All right. By the way, why did Coop have a show the other day to not talk about the election, but did he talk about it? Did he not talk about it? Anyways.
Coop loves to schedule shows during huge events.
Yes.
Just to see,
just to see nobody's watching?
I'll tell you one thing. If he'll do a show on the same day of the Super Bowl, and if the Super Bowl viewers are down from the year before, it's because of the Cigar Coop. Yep. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
We love you, Coop.
We love him to death. I love his mentality, though. He's like, screw it. Elections, Super Bowl, ain't got nothing on me.
Hey, man. Appreciate it. Like his hair as well. So, I mean, this is not what I expected. I expect Rainier to do way better than this. I think probably next to Dion, I think HVC and what Rainier's doing with TAPSA is like up in the upper echelon of people that are making good stuff out of TAPSA, minus this cigar. So yeah, this was a complete miss for me. I actually really do want to smoke the other sizes to see how it is, because like Seth, you said you liked it better. I know some other folks that I've talked to that liked it a lot better. And just everyone in general that has smoked this size that I've talked to anyways, also said that this is definitely not the right size. But it is a Cigar Geek size, which is why we kind of picked it. But even with that said, man, like it shouldn't be that different than all the other sizes. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the wrapper, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, if you want freaking Rothschild, if you want Mexican San Andreas, yeah, they're called Illusione Rothschilds for $3 a cigar. That's never changed. That deal has never fucking passed. It's still there.
It's a great deal, man. It just goes to show the difference between a 46 ring gauge and a 54 ring gauge.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right, Seth, what were you going to say then?
Oh, listen, this is my passionate but casual coupe. You got to get the sweater arm and you got to roll it up. And then you got to be like, you got to go sideways. So hotcake, what's up with the name hotcake? It doesn't even go with HVC. I don't get it. So, but that's the other thing. I think the name's, I don't like the name hotcake. I think he could have done a better.
I think it was a play off of the
play
Pan
off of the
Caliente.
Pan Caliente.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think he
Know
should
your
have done it
culture,
too.
Seth. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wait, is hotcake like a Cuban
cake that's
thing
hot.
though, or like a, you know what I mean? Like I know it's a play off of Pan Caliente, but like, is the hot cake?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, talk to
Do
John.
I
John's the
do I look
resident Cuban.
Spanish to you? Come on,
John's the
man.
resident Cuban.
I'm like the whitest guy on the face of this planet.
You've
You're
been
the
to
only
Cuba?
one of the group that's been to Cuba, so you got to tell us.
I've blinded like 17 Cubans just by rolling up my shorts and showing them my knees. Like nobody wants to see that.
And it's like, whoa, Red Rocket. Okay. Anyways,
I feel like this. I mean, I hate to throw Tabs under the bus, but I just feel like this has been an off year across the board for Tabs. So we've done quite a number of cigars coming out of the factory, and if I think back to the year and think like what really wowed me, nothing really wowed me this year. And Rainier is usually good for a couple. So I don't know, disappointing.
It is. It's pretty disappointing. And the interesting thing is, I think Illusione has kept consistency throughout. I think they're still dependent on the tobacco, but I think they have that quality. And I think if you look at Foundation, I think if you look at those blends, it's interesting that his more complex blends he doesn't do at, Tabsa. He does that with AJ. But I find more consistency and enjoyment with his like tabernacle stuff out of AJ than I do with like the other stuff coming out of Tabsa. I just think Tabsa's in a tough spot. John's right. He nailed it.
All right. If
I
you just
wanna-
get, oh, go ahead.
I want to
John.
I want to get like Dion's opinion. I know Eduardo's never going to admit to this, but like some of these people that know their Agonors and tobacco, if they just had a really shitty year of tobacco, because it kind of seems like it based upon our reviews, right?
Dion's not going to give you an honest opinion of that. That's like
Yeah, I
asking
know.
Pete Johnson to give an honest opinion about My Father Cigars. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
I'm not throwing Pete under the bus. I'm throwing all these.
No,
people.
I mean
Yeah.
they're not, right, because their their livelihood is based upon
Maybe the vault took a year off. Maybe they closed the vault for 2020, and you got to come back in 2021. The vault's closed this year.
All right. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. We'll also check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalates.com. Follow us on the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one. Hot cake.